Hi everyone, I'm so excited. I've got so many things to share with you today, and let's hope I can remember everything that I want to share with you. So, we tend to disregard crafts we've done as kids, but I remembered something that we've done. We used to pick up leaves, put them under regular paper. This is a printer paper. We put them upside down, so the side that has more texture is towards the paper, like this. And then we rubbed either chalks, and I'm talking regular chalks, the ones that we used to draw on the sidewalk, or we used crayons. So this is of course very simple. So I'm going to show you what I mean if you didn't do it as a child. And so this is an oil pastel that I'm using. Now crayons, I've tried it with my Crayola crayons that I have since I was a teenager. This is a bit difficult. They don't tend to smear, so it's kind of hard to work with them. So basically you just take the oil pastel and you go and put pressure and you pick up all the details. Now I'm switching to a dark blue just so you can see what I'm doing, and I'm not trying to be tidy about it, just so you will see how it picks up details. Now the thing is that you whatever you put under your paper needs to be still and not move, otherwise all the details get confused. So this is one way. Now what I wanted to show you today is the resist that you can do with oil pastels, but I want also to show you all the other variation for this kind of thing. So this is just plain rubbing oil pastels on top of paper. Now you've asked me before when I used my oil pastels. I buy them at the cheap store, but I buy them in the kids craft section. I don't know why, but these are considered for kids. I don't care. I'm using them and I don't care if it's for kids. So this is only the beginning. I'm still leaving it here. I'm putting more of the leaves, and I just want to show you how it looks with chalk pastels, which are another way not to go about it. But just bear in mind, with chalk pastels you won't have a resist. It is what it is, and you need, when you are finished, you need to seal it either with fixative or with the cheapest hairspray that you can find. I'm alternating between colors. I think it's more interesting this way, but do whatever you want to do. Now of course you don't have to use only leaves. Any kind of textured surface can make an interesting painty paper. So this only needs to be sealed, and you can use it in whatever project you want. This is going aside, taking all the leaves here. So just so you will see another thing, here are I've got this board that I've glued down puzzle pieces, and then I went over and with the oil pastels, and that's what I've got. Here I've started going with the oil pastels on top of this. This is a synthetic lace. It's very hard, So I started with this, and then I took this stencil and started going over it. So you can also layer out whatever print you want, and I'll show you an example just so you will see what I'm talking about. Let's place it here. Again, I'm using the dark blue just so you can see better what I'm doing. So I can start like this. I can also take another color, just picked red, and add. And now I can change this, move on to my stencil, and start creating. I overlap it because now I've got a really interesting print. The bubbles are showing on top or in between the puzzle pieces, and I'm moving it again and just going with another color, and there is no limit to what you can do. So here is another example, and so we've got all this. Moving this aside for now. Now this was one of my tries, my first tries to do this rubbing technique on stencil. This is made with the crayons, the Crayola crayons. Now maybe you like it, then go for it. I don't really care for it. I thought of using it because I have more shades, more colors here, but I don't like how it looks. If you do, go for it. So that's the example with the Crayola crayons, and I've done it on a yellow printer paper. So now we are going to another, just one more example. I'm taking another stencil, putting it down, and I'm going to use this gold oil pastel. Just make sure your stencil doesn't move so you won't lose your details. And I can move it because it's just, and pick up a little bit more, doesn't really matter. And I will soon show you all my tries and what came out of it. So now we've got all this lovely paper with the oil pastels. The next thing I thought of, because it's oil pastels, you can use it as a resist, and you can use now anything that is water-based. If it's watercolors, if it's your sprays that are not the alcohol sprays, I don't know how it will react with it. I've done this with my homemade sprays. They are made from a few drops of gel food coloring with water. I don't have a recipe. You just put enough drops to have something that you like. So let's bring in my dirty towel with all the paint, and I'm just taking this green spray, and you can already see how the resist works. And of course you can alternate with the colors. Go wild. Now bear in mind, whatever you use, if it's the sprays or if it's watercolor, first of all the page will absorb most of your paint, no matter what you used. So when it's dry, it will be paler than what you've sprayed. So sometimes you need to go over and over until you achieve what you want. Sometimes it will be nice to have a faded effect, and sometimes you want more vibrant, so you will need to go over and over until you reach the effect you want. So this is with the sprays. I am moving this aside. Now let's take this one and bring in some watercolors, and it doesn't really matter which watercolors. I'm just taking now ones that I have with, they're a little bit pearlescent, and they are they have some glitter in them, I think. Yeah, so let's see, let's go for the gold here. And again, just moving on top, and in this case too, when it will dry, it will be paler than what you see right now. And maybe you will need to just go over it and reinforce the colors. I don't really care right now what becomes of it. I'm just putting it down so you can see what I'm talking about. And I can also blend it with, as long as it's wet, I can blend the colors. So this is with watercolors. Now, moving all this aside, I've got mess here. Not enough space. There is never enough space. So let's go over some of the things I've done. So here I've used this bronze oil pastel and some green watercolor, and it took me some time until I reached this shade of green. Here is a gold with red watercolor. This is when I tried to go over a stencil with the Crayola crayons as the rub, and then I went with some ochre watercolor on top, and this is it. So it's very faded, but I can still see that I can use it as a background to in one of my pages that I'm going to do in my art journal. Again, this one is a little bit faded. Here I went with red and gold when I rubbed it's the same stencil, and then I just went with, I think it was like skin color watercolor. Again, yellow and green, and then some ochre on top of it. Here I've used I think it was gold, the gold oil pastel, and then some blue-green. Again, bronze with purple and magenta, gold with some blue on top. Oh, this is something I wanted to show you. This and this. This is just, here are the variations, more variations that I wanted to show you. So, taking another paper to demonstrate. So I've showed you how to pick up patterns like from leaves, from lace, from whatever textured surface you have. And of course I've showed you from stencils. Now I want to show you how nice it can be when you're doing your own thing. So what I've done here, I just took the gold oil pastel and started doing my own thing, like so. Freehand, nothing is planned, and that's what I've got. And then here I just took this and started making a pattern that I liked, like so. Don't really care, and I can do thinner lines, and I can do dots. It doesn't matter. Play around, make your own design, and have fun. Of course, you don't have to use a gold. You can use whatever you want. So let's bring in. Where did I put my towel? Here it is. Now I want to show you the effect. It's quite with black. I just fell in love with it, and I will show you in a minute. I have another page that I've done that is, as we speak, is drying along. Now I forgot to tell you, don't try to rush it with your heat tools. This is wax, the oil pastels. You don't want it in touch with anything that has heat. Although maybe it will create another effect that I don't know about yet, but I wouldn't recommend it. So of course now I think this is gorgeous if it could have stayed that way, but it doesn't. As I said, the paper will absorb it, but nonetheless I repeated another layer, another layer until I was satisfied, and I will show you in a minute. And as I said, when it's dry and you are satisfied, seal it, but let it dry on its own. Don't use your heat tools. So this is another example, and now for the last one. Here I've put the oil pastel and just sprayed it with some tea, yeah, like when you with tea dye papers. So I wanted something like this. Last example, here I have used white oil pastel. You just go and go wild all over your page, like so. And I know you can't see, it's white on white, but here is the magic that we all did when we were in kindergarten. So you can also use it here. It doesn't mean that it has to stay in kindergarten. You can make beautiful things with the same techniques. So here we go. I just love this oil pastel resist. And of course, just spray as much as you want, whatever colors you want, and go wild with it. So that's the whole experiments I've done, and I've promised to show you the other page that I've done with black. And here it is. It's still wet because I put varnish on top of it, glossy varnish. I've used, let's see if I have this stencil here. I've used this cogs stencil here and here, and I've used gold here and bronze here, and afterwards I just sprayed it with this black several times until I got what I wanted. And then, as you can see, I hope you can see, I've put glossy varnish on top. I'm planning of using this to cover this a very simple notebook. It's going to just go, I just want to glue it and add some embellishments, and it's going to be the cover for this notebook, like this. So this is it for today's lesson. my throat got parched from talking so long, and this is it. I hope you'll have fun. It's kind of addicting. I couldn't stop rubbing the oil pastels on top of almost any stencil I have. So I hope you'll have fun with it, and thank you for watching, and thank you for leaving me comments below. I'll be seeing you in my next video. Bye for now.